Now, when you look at some of these younger artists and you see how they idolize you and idolize your music, and then you see them get caught up.
Yeah.
Do you have conversations with them? Like I remember Casanova, and you was trying to talk to Casanova, Troy Ave, and now Lil Durk. Do you have conversations with them and be like, I've seen this play before?
Yeah. And even with Durk, I was telling him, like when I had him, he was in New York. We did the power thing.
Yeah. That's first and last acting role at this point, right now.
But we did the not the acting role when we was doing the theme song for Force.
Got you.
For the Chicago version.
Yeah.
Then, like I was like, yo, this is them, right? It's the real shit, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, yo, just watch him. His crew. Because he said that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I've always had that energy myself in the middle of everything that was going on. I'm not just watching.
We know, Fifth.
When you said that to Durk, what was his response to you?
He said, you know what? He said, somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody. Like, this is not, because something happened.
The robbery in Georgia?
Yeah.
When India had to shoot?
He went straight to talking about that.
In a case already soaked in tension, street conflict, and national media attention, federal prosecutors are now sounding the loudest alarm yet. Lil Durk, one of hip-hop's biggest stars, is being accused of threatening a judge, intimidating witnesses, and showing outright contempt for the judicial process.
Have you spoken to Durk?
Yeah, I spoke to Smirk. Talked to Durk probably like a month or two ago.
How's he doing?
Yeah, he doing good for sure. Like mentally, and that's the thing about Smirk. If you know him, you know he good. Like that nigga is really a real disciplined, mentally strong nigga for real. Like this shit just like this just a part of his journey. Like he know he coming from under this shit. We all know he coming from under this shit. You know what I'm saying? But like he one of them type of niggas like he never gonna lose himself. All he doing is praying, talking to his family, like connecting with God. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. And yeah, Smirk definitely good. I spoke to him. I sent him like a little snippet of music that I'm putting out, and the music that I like was saying his name in, shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's my brother. Yeah. Smirk.
That stunning language appears in an 8-page filing submitted this week in Los Angeles federal court, a document that reads less like a dry legal motion and more like a national security briefing. Prosecutors say Durk, real name Durk Banks, and the alleged OTF enterprise around him present such a significant threat that the government is demanding something typically reserved for terrorism and mob trials, an anonymous, fully protected jury. And they're not asking, they're warning. The November filing, obtained by All Hip Hop and confirmed by sources inside the U.S. Attorney's Office, paints a picture of a rapper whose influence reaches far beyond the stage, and studio prosecutors allege that Durk's supporters and associates have threatened a federal magistrate judge, targeted a federal prosecutor working the case, intimidated potential witnesses, sent explicit warnings hinting at retaliation, attempted to undermine the judicial process from inside prison. The filing states flatly that Durk and his crew have displayed contempt for the judicial process, arguing that the danger is not hypothetical. It's already happening. Preventing the leaking of jurors' personal identifying information is a paramount concern in a case where supporters have already made threats, prosecutors wrote, urging the court to seal all juror identities before the trial begins. This is not standard procedure. It's not even common in major criminal trials. This level of secrecy is so rare that only cases involving international terror, large-scale cartel violence, and organized crime families have received such protections in recent years. For prosecutors to request it against a Grammy-nominated rap artist signals the severity of what they claim to be dealing with. Lil Durk has been locked up without bail since his federal indictment for allegedly orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot targeting rapper Quando Rondo, a retaliatory hit following the killing of Durk's close friend King Von in 2020. According to the government, Durk directed multiple individuals to fly from Chicago to Los Angeles, coordinated a plan to ambush Quando Rondo in 2022, paid associates to carry out the hit, oversaw the operation through encrypted devices and contraband communication channels. Quando Rondo lived his cousin, Xavier Lul Pab Robinson, tragically did not. If convicted, Durk faces life in federal prison. His highly anticipated trial is scheduled for January 2026, but the courtroom battle is already raging months before a jury is selected. Attorney Drew Findling, the same high-powered lawyer who has represented Cardi B, Gucci Mane, and Donald Trump, has dismissed the government's depiction of OTF as a criminal enterprise. To Findling, the prosecution's claims amount to speculation, exaggeration, and mischaracterization fueled by Durk's celebrity and the public's appetite for sensationalized rap-related crime narratives. An anonymous jury would undercut transparency and fairness in these proceedings, Findling wrote in an October response. Such a drastic measure is justified only when there is a strong reason to believe it is necessary. He argues that prosecutors are treating Durk as if he runs a cartel rather than a record label, and that sealing the identities of potential jurors would hinder the defense's ability to ensure an unbiased panel. OTF, he maintains, is a legitimate music collective, not the street-based crime syndicate the government insists it is. But prosecutors are not backing down. In fact, they're escalating. The November filing accuses Durk of continuing to manipulate the outside world even while behind bars. According to the government, he allegedly used other inmates' PIN numbers to make unmonitored phone calls. He allegedly attempted to destroy contraband Apple Watches that prosecutors say he used to coordinate communication. He allegedly directed or encouraged OTF supporters to send messages interpreted as intimidation. In the prosecutor's telling, Durk's reach remains vast and dangerous, and allowing jurors' identities to become public would place them in harm's way. The government even compared his network's behavior to the kind used in organized criminal enterprises that blend business with violence and intimidation. That language is deliberate, it's strategic, and it signals that the feds will approach this case as if they're dismantling a modern-day mafia structure. Perhaps the most explosive claim in the filing is that members of OTF, or individuals strongly aligned with Durk, issued threats toward a magistrate judge assigned to pretrial matters. Prosecutors have not disclosed the exact wording of the threat, nor the source, citing security concerns, but they were clear enough in their description. Affiliates and supporters have demonstrated their readiness to threaten those associated with this highly publicized trial. In addition to the judge, a federal prosecutor handling the case was also reportedly the target of threatening behavior, prompting additional internal security measures from the Justice Department. The implications are enormous. Threatening a judge is not just another charge. It's an offense that suggests an attempt to undermine the entire justice system. For the government to include this in a pretrial motion reveals they believe the danger is ongoing, not isolated. Lil Durk's career has long walked a tightrope between two worlds: the mainstream hip-hop success built on hit records and the street legacy shaped by real trauma, real violence, and real loyalty to those he grew up with. Fans see him as a survivor, a leader, a symbol of resilience. Critics see him and OTF as emblematic of Chicago's street wars brought to national prominence. Prosecutors, however, see something much more structured and far more dangerous. They argue OTF operates like an enterprise that blends legitimate business with organized crime. This language invokes RICO-style reasoning, the belief that music labels, social media platforms, and artistic personas are being used to conceal or facilitate violence. Durk's team insists the opposite. OTF is simply a label that employs artists, videographers, producers, and staff. They argue the government is confusing correlation with causation. But in 2025, federal prosecutors are increasingly using rap lyrics, online communication, and social media presence as evidence of criminal enterprise. The line between persona and conspiracy has blurred, and Durk now finds himself at the center of the largest culture versus courtroom collision since Young Thug's YSL trial. With Durk facing life in prison, a potential witness intimidation arc unfolding, and federal prosecutors preparing for one of the most high-profile trials of 2026. Both sides are treating this as a monumental, career-defining battle. If the judge approves an anonymous jury, it sets a precedent. Hip-hop trials may now be viewed through the same lens as cartel and mafia cases. If the judge denies it, prosecutors warn that the risk of compromised jurors could jeopardize the entire proceeding. Meanwhile, Durk counts down the days from inside federal custody, maintaining his innocence, denying all allegations, and insisting the government has twisted his brand, his label, and his community into something criminal that it is not. With the January 2026 trial looming, experts agree this will become one of the most watched federal criminal cases involving a rapper in modern history. It will test How the justice system views rap culture. How far prosecutors will go to protect jurors. How much weight lyrics, online conduct, and affiliation carry. How far the government believes OTF's influence extends. Whether Lil Durk can defeat a federal case built on claims of enterprise-level violence. For now, the courtroom remains the battleground, and the allegations grow more explosive by the week. And the central question remains, is Lil Durk a chart-topping artist caught in the crosshairs of overzealous prosecutors, or the orchestrator of a retaliatory network powerful enough to threaten judges, intimidate witnesses, and shake the entire foundation of a federal trial? January 2026 may deliver the answer.